You've spent your whole life trying to fix something that was never broken. Something deep. The hum beneath every conversation, every plan, every breath you've tried to control. You wake up, already calculating, already rehearsing tomorrow's battles. Your brain doesn't rest. It scans, predicts, protects. And you called that strength. You told yourself, if I just think harder, plan better, anticipate everything, I'll finally feel safe. I'll finally feel still. But it stopped working. The tighter you grip, the more exhausted you become. The more you control, the less control you actually have. You've caught yourself staring at your phone for 20 minutes because stillness feels dangerous. You've watched a sunset while mentally drafting tomorrow's email. The people you love most feel distant because you're never fully there. Now something inside you is refusing to play the game anymore, and that terrifies you. What if letting go means losing yourself? Nobody told you the truth. What you call discipline is fear in a tailored suit. What you call ambition is anxiety that learned to look productive. You were never taught to rest. You were taught to justify it. You were never taught to trust life. You were taught to manage it. So you became a walking contingency plan, a human firewall against uncertainty. It worked until your body started sending the bill. The exhaustion got louder than the urgency. No amount of rehearsal could stop life from being unpredictable. You realized you've been fighting a war with no enemy, just a scared younger version of you who thought survival meant never being caught off guard. Here's the real diagnosis. You're not controlling life. You're avoiding feeling it. Every what if loop, every imagined argument, every mental checklist isn't preparation. It's postponement. Your nervous system's way of whispering, if I stay in my head, I don't have to drop into my body and feel the free fall. Because free fall feels like death when no one ever taught you it could be flight. You were told stillness is laziness. Peace is a reward you get later, after you've earned it. But there is no later. There's only now. And you've been so busy building a future, you can tolerate that you've missed the life that's already here. The coffee that went cold, the laugh you didn't hear, the moment that slipped away while you were bracing for the next one. This isn't shame. This is recognition. You didn't choose this pattern. It chose you, probably very early, when anticipating pain felt safer than being surprised by it. But what if the thing you're most afraid of is actually the doorway to the presence you've been chasing your whole life? You've been treating life like a machine. Input, output. Problem, perfect solution. Find the right sequence, force the right outcome, certainty achieved. Every time life laughs at your plan, you don't question the approach. You double down. I didn't think hard enough. I didn't prepare enough. So you grip tighter. The cycle gets heavier, but something in you is starting to whisper the truth. Life isn't a machine. It's a rhythm. You can't force your heart to beat faster by thinking about it. You can't demand sleep. You can't analyze someone into loving you. You can't strategize your way into peace. These things don't bend to force. They open to flow. The machine screams, work harder and you'll finally be safe. The rhythm answers, you're safe enough to stop working. The machine says, fix everything first, then rest. The rhythm answers, rest is the ground everything real grows from. This shift feels like death, because it is. The death of the version of you who believed vigilance could outsmart suffering. What's being born is the part that can sit in uncertainty without turning it into a problem to solve. the part that can feel the fear without becoming it. Presence isn't the reward for getting everything handled. It's the only place anything real ever happens. You've been swimming upstream your whole life, fighting the current. Turn around, let it carry you. You can't think your way into presence. You've tried. You've read the books, repeated the mantras, understood every concept. 5 minutes later, you're back in your head, rehearsing tomorrow. Here's why nothing sticks. The problem isn't in your mind. It's locked in your body. Your nervous system is still running survival code from a time when scanning for danger was non-negotiable. No affirmation can overwrite that. You can't control your way into calm. You can only allow it. So do this, right now with me. Breathe so you feel it in your belly. Feel the weight of your body on the chair. Feel the temperature of the air on your skin. Feel your hands, your feet, the aliveness behind your eyes. Notice the voice that immediately says, "This is boring. I have things to do." That's the machine panicking, because stillness means it's out of a job. Stay anyway. When you stay, the noise quiets, just a little, but enough. This is the real work, not thinking about your feelings, feeling them. Yes, it will feel like losing control, because it is. You're losing the false safety you built by staying 3 steps ahead. What you gain is your actual life. Here's what you haven't let yourself admit. The people closest to you feel your absence, even when you're right there. You're physically in the room, but you're managing the conversation, predicting reactions, steering outcomes. You're holding them, but you're not in your body enough to feel them. They sense the distance. They can't name it, but they feel it. You thought you were showing love by anticipating their needs, fixing problems before they arise. But love filtered through control stops feeling like love and starts feeling like management. People don't feel close to your competence. They feel close to your presence. When you drop the grip, everything changes. You stop rehearsing and start listening. But some won't like the new you. Some people loved the version who always had the plan, who carried the load so they didn't have to. They'll feel unsteady when you stop. They might call you selfish, distant, not yourself. And they'll be right. That old self is dying. You're no longer willing to trade your aliveness for their comfort. The ones who love you really love you will adjust. You're not destroying relationships. You're finding out which ones were built on genuine connection and which ones were built on your exhaustion. And yes, it will hurt. But on the other side is the first time you'll ever be loved for who you actually are, not for what you do. You've been hunting for peace like it's something you add. Another app, another routine, another therapist, another breakthrough. More tools, more insight, more control. Wrong direction. Peace isn't built. It's uncovered. You don't need to become someone calmer. You need to stop being someone you never were. Every system you created to manage anxiety became another weight. Every role you played to feel valuable became another performance. You added layers of armor thinking they were protection. Now you can barely move. The real upgrade is subtraction. Subtract the scanning, subtract the fixing, subtract the rehearsing. Watch what happens. The conversation you don't pre-plan flows better than any script. The problem you don't solve gets handled by life. Subtraction feels like free fall because your whole identity was tied to doing. When the doing stops, there's a terrifying second where you think, who am I now? Then you meet the answer, the you who's enough without lifting a finger, more ordinary, and finally, undeniably alive. You were never a machine to optimize. You're a living thing. Trees don't strategize blooming. Rivers don't force their path. Your heart doesn't plan its next beat. Stop managing every moment to deserve it. The moment is already here. Put down the blueprint. Open your hands. Life doesn't fall apart when you stop gripping. It finally has room to breathe. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're shedding armor that was never meant to be permanent. That old version of you is tired. It's begging you to let it retire. So here's the permission you've been waiting your whole life for. You're allowed to exist without a 5-year plan. You're allowed to feel without fixing. You're allowed to rest without justifying it. You're allowed to not know and still be okay. It's okay to say no without an explanation. It's okay to change without apology. It's okay to let the future stay uncertain and this moment stay exactly as it is. You don't need to earn your right to be here. You never did. So right now, wherever you are, say it out loud with me. I'm allowed to be here without having it all figured out. This is the breakthrough into no identity at all. Just you, present. The life you've been protecting with control isn't the one you actually want. The one you want is right here, on the other side of the exhale, waiting for you to stop gripping and finally land. Welcome home.